Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today I'm going to go down a list. I have this huge list here. Well, it's not huge. I think there might be 7 or 8 different things, but I found a list that as to all of the investigations into Flump. You guys call him whatever you want. I love Danny Shea calling him Pumpkinhead. We can call him Pumpkinhead. The Orange Menace, like Andre the astrologer calls him. Any other ones, you guys let me know. Drop it in the comments. But I'm going to go through this list and see one by one if, how it's going to go for him. And we'll see which ones add up the worst. And then also we have the January 6th committee investigation that most likely will go to the DOJ. So something has to get him, right, at some point? But anyway, what an exploration I've got ahead of me, and I'm going to try and do it as quick as I can. So let me drop the camera down and get started. Okay, so for legal things, I use the Kipper. So this is Ciro Marchetti's Fin de siècle Kipper. End of the century is what it stands for. So, okay, first thing I want to look at is, because Alvin Bragg decided not to prosecute. I guess they thought there wasn't enough. I think they didn't have the witnesses they wanted, or he didn't have the witnesses he wanted, but I want to know if the new team, so the Manhattan DA's new team, led by Susan Hoffinger, if they will be, because I guess she's like super experienced, and the team is as well. But will this new team, will they be successful in indicting Trump Org, Trump himself, maybe even his adult offspring? And I know who I have assigned for who in these cards, so I'll tell you if they show up. But anyway, so yeah, for like submitting, I don't know what, false property values. This is the one that would be for, insurance fraud, bank fraud, tax fraud, all of that. So will they be successful in indicting Trump Org, Trump himself, the adult spawn? The always be grifting company, family, man. Okay. Okay. So, will they be successful? So we can see that they've been on this trajectory for a long time, trying to stay focused and not be distracted, but also in getting the perps, right? Getting the literal, the Trump crime family, nothing but a big old thief, right? The thieves. Yeah, because, they've just been so draining on the state of New York for decades. But it might be that something's missing and they don't have everything they need. But change is coming. The Lover's card has to do with success, a successful outcome. This could be some man that contributes to this situation. So I doubt it's Alvin Bragg, but of course it would be, well, maybe it is. I don't know. This could even be Michael Cohen, because the mature man is someone who is supportive. Now, if it's not a man, then it would be the situation of something strong coming in, something very supportive coming in that changes the trajectory here. Okay. These cards on top have heavy influence on the bottom row. And it's very possible that these cards are saying that the influence will be to put, no, I didn't have any certain person show up, right? Like I don't have the Ivanka card or Don Jr. or Eric card here. But this could be speaking about Trump, because I continually, every month when I do the monthly readings, I always get these cards together, like him being locked up in a self-created prison of his own terrible health that has him just, spinning in a vicious circle of negativity that he cannot get out of. Now this brings in the element of, okay, so a supportive situation or a supportive man who's doing a lot of work, but then this community card is much bigger than this could be other people contributing from the state of New York to bring in the information needed. Wow. Okay, so now this is coming from the angle of, let's reshuffle. Oops, do this in a little different way. Let's look at it. I'm going to look at it from the angle of, how's this lawsuit going to go for the Trump crime family? And then we'll see. Okay? All right, how will this lawsuit, led by Susan Hoffinger, how will this lawsuit go? How's it going to go for the Trump crime family? What will they be receiving? Eric is still pissed, man. That guy is just so... I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't blow a head gasket someday. How's it going to go for them? Will they get away with this one? Oop, doesn't look like it. Okay, might have to draw another layer, or maybe I'll just move on to the next topic. This might not be the one that gets them, right? But something's gonna, because I always get this card and that health card with Trump. If this isn't actual imprisonment, it's being restricted to the point that, you can't do the old thing you used to do. Life will work against you to the point where you're just stuck. So, okay, how's it going to go for them? Well, this is their real estate and all their assets. This is their reputation. This is even my, Trump Tower card, because it's high, something high. They're on a direction. So this to me is how it's going to go for them. Well, what are they going to do? Run to their overseas community? Oh yeah, that reminds me. I printed out a list, and I found a list online of All the countries with no extradition treaty. It's the 2022 list. No extradition treaty with the USA. I don't see anything over here in this column that tells me that they'd want to go. Definitely not China. Yeah, none of these here. Ethiopia, yeah, right. Kazakhstan, Kuwait, no. But when we get over in here, Moldova reminds me of that. Remember when Trump pushed himself in front of everyone, and the Moldovan president is like, dude, what the heck, man? And he kind of laughed at him. Yeah, but anyway, maybe Morocco. I don't know about Qatar or Qatar, however you want to pronounce that. Definitely not Russia. Saudi Arabia, I don't know, maybe. But here are all the places, and yeah, like nice try. What's his name? Paul Manafort, who got stuck trying to get out of, trying to go to Dubai. Now notice Dubai doesn't show up here, but maybe that's not because because that's not a country. But so Saudi Arabia, the UAE. So there's that very real possibility that he has plans. Now, whether or not he could get out, I'm thinking that the adult kids could get out, but because they don't have secret service detail on them all the time. So, how it's going to go for the Trump crime family? They do have a community overseas that would welcome them, but their assets may be seized in order to do that. I mean, or they might want them to, because you know how it goes over there. It's like there's a price to pay, and they might want to tie up their assets for a really long time. And would they be able to do something like that? To me, I mean, you guys are so much brighter than I am. I just absolutely love, like, Chops Daddy, Mike, Tracy Walker, Jean, all of you that are very, very bright. Put in the comments and tell me if I'm wrong here, but hold on. It looks to me like their assets could be seized. No, hold on. I need water. Just a second. It looks to me like the way this would go is that their assets would be taken and held for a very long time, or maybe just gone. And like if they could, whatever assets they try to take with them, whatever they can get away with. I'm thinking that the feds or the IRS would be able to do this. So I could be seeing that. We'll see when I get to the other readings. If we get some of the same cards asking a question from a different angle, then we'll see the pattern. This is a pattern. This is a pattern I always see. This is a pattern. The reputation and honor. These cards are, I see them every month in their monthly readings. But in this particular situation, when it comes to the Manhattan DA's new team, led by Susan Hoffinger, how it's going to go for Trump is there will be a restriction of assets. Might take a really long time, but eventually I think they're going to be able to prove that their reputation has has grown of just receiving money, money to launder, goes from one hand to the other, and that's like the work that they've done. And this card is my investigation card, like when a person is waiting for, they're being watched, surveillance, subpoenas. So they're just like waiting and they can't do anything. Now, it's also a card when it comes to timing, something that could take about 3 months. But this card is a 2-year card. Could be that all the work they've done over the last 2 years can bring it through in the next few months. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'll just move on to the next one. And let's see. Let's go to before I go to the other, I've got a list over there on my desk. I just have to grab it. Yeah, that doesn't work well. These cards are too darn stiff. Let's go to the January 6th committee. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Because remember, that old referral had to do with a conspiracy to defraud the justice, or defraud the U.S., defraud the United States, and I guess it could be, the justice of, trying to, because what he was trying to do. What he was trying to do was stop. So it would be obstruction, like obstruction of justice, because they were trying to stop the the Congress from doing their their count. Well, it wasn't even the total count. It was Mike Pence speaking and saying that he had no choice but to give the vote, because the votes they were all in, everything was tabulated, and took forever, but they were trying to stop that official process, I think are the words I'm trying to get out of my head into my mouth. I'm trying to get into my head. Okay, so, and if I remember right, they had evidence, I think they had evidence of more than 20 times. And remember that Eastman guy? There was that guy that even put together the slideshow, the PowerPoint presentation, and the guy was, he was like legally trying to withhold emails, documents, and he wouldn't give anything to the January 6th committee at all. So the way it would go, the January 6th committee would have their referral that would have to go to the DOJ, which could take a few months. So, but let's see, how is the January 6th committee investigation on the insurrection, how is that going to go? Now, this wouldn't have anything to do with the adult offspring, I don't think, unless they do find something. But let's just look and see, how's it going to go for Trump? And if the kids show up, they show up. This guy is out of it, man. He's just, I mean, it's like a blob of mush brain kind of. Wow, he's lost it. Okay, how's this going to go for him? How's the January 6th investigation going to go for him? I think that's Liz Cheney. There's Ivanka. She came through. Wow. How's it going to go for Trump? There he is. Okay, I'll have to draw more cards. Let's see. So Ivanka right in the middle there. That's weird. Oh, I get it. Oh. She already gave up something. She already flipped on him. Wow. makes me remember my other readings in the past. Yeah, she's flipped on him. She's and I think it was really hard for her. But I think she gave it up to Liz Cheney, or to whenever they've all been called in. I don't think she was quiet. This is Ivanka's meeting with Liz Cheney. Notice how it up here, and she gave it up like a slot machine because what was coming up on her was just this place where she couldn't let go in her mind. She kept mulling it over, and just couldn't let it go. And this is a card of feeling very helpless. So she gave it up, and this helplessness is hanging over Trump. He's very concerned about what she did, because I think, she's a Scorpio, and I'm pretty sure she's a double Scorpio. I'd have to look that up, but Scorpios don't, they don't, if they're hurt and betrayed, they will, usually, unless they're very evolved, usually they will get back at a person. I don't think she's evolved, so I'm sure she would engage in whatever she had to do to take care of herself, which is what any Scorpio would do. Because we're talking that fixed water that knows. They're usually pretty psychic too, evolved or not. And she has control over him. He's concerned, worried about it. These, to me, are the details that's been going on for quite some time. All the work, the hard work. Also, I think this could be her that gave up details about how the organizations were run. Also, she worked for him in the Oval Office. And this could have to do with, the question was, how would it affect him? This is the worst card. This is worse than the Nine of Swords. This is that, just self-destruction. Self-destruction. She saw the violence on January 6th and didn't like it at all. And I think she's going to just keep, this is like the gift that keeps on giving. If they want her back to get more information, I think she'll give it. But I feel like this combo here has to do with her. The only way she could kind of reconcile herself with herself would be to give it up, even though she didn't want to. But yeah, no. And this is Liz Cheney. So I'm thinking, I'll draw some more cards, but I'm thinking that this just might be the thing that gets him. Yeah, the rules, regulations, it's called treason, and it's going to end him. It's a very, very painful loss that creates tremendous change in his life. And again, I don't see imprisonment with this one, or restriction, but it takes him down. It's his health. I think we've all gotten that, right? That it's his health that takes him out. Oh man. There's always a price to pay at some point. Okay, let's go to my list. This is the one, I got this from the, I can't remember, was I in Washington Post or New York Times? One of those two. And there was a pop-up, kind of a, not a pop-up window, but I was researching something and this came up. It's like all of the investigations. Except for the two I just read on. I already took that off the top. So this is Letitia James. And it's that civil fraud investigation of just the way he, the questionable business practices. So let's go ahead and look at that. How will Letitia James's civil investigations, civil suits. This wouldn't be federal, it would be civil. How will this go for him? And it would be, I guess it would be all of Trump.org, right? Yeah. No, well, it's him. Seeking to question him. Okay. How is this going to go for him? I get the feeling that the adult offspring are going to be getting out of Dodge. I think they're going to run to another country, but his health is not going to allow that. And the Secret Service. Okay, Letitia James. How is her lawsuit going to go? Ooh. This feels to me like the state of New York. Yeah. Lies, deceit, treachery. She's got the goods. She has the communications. This could be her. We'll see. Oh, on another level, this could be Ivana. I don't know if she would be interviewing Ivana. I think Ivana's health has not been good. But how's it going to go for Trump? This is something that could definitely lock him up. Whoa, and that's what he's looking at. Who knew? Well, if I'm right, who knew that this would be the one? His bad health is hanging over him. And maybe Ivana has given up some information, and here we are with the rules. Wow. Okay. Even these two, like mirroring these cards together, on one level this could be a down patch, but it can also be how the Trump crime family has like leveled what could have been accomplished more in the state of New York, because this is a whole community of people who have had it, and we all know that the state of New York just can't stand the Trump family, and it was his father that helped create that awful, he set everything up. The business practices of the Trump family have been dark. They've been dishonest. They've been the enemy of the state of New York. They've cheated. This is a cheating card. If you're doing a personal reading, this is the cheater card. They've been evading paying their taxes. Deception, dishonesty, cheating from the state of New York. And they have the paperwork to prove it. They have communications to prove it. If this isn't a person, this would just be a very wise, supportive situation. This could also be, this is the card that comes through if you're looking for someone like, can you trust this person or not? This person you can. So it would be somebody who was told something in confidence and then they communicated it to Letitia James. But look at what happens to him. This is him. This is the rules, regulations coming up from behind him, and there's nothing he can do about it. This could lead to imprisonment. At the least, it's going to be such restriction that his health hanging over him. Look how this card knights, right? This community, the state of New York, restriction upon him, and his health just has him locked up. And his family. Now, this could be the possibility that his family, all of him, it could be that Don Jr. and Eric have flipped on him as well. And I think I have gotten that before. So, okay, so I'm just going to move on here and do a different question. Move on to the next question, I should say. Do a different spread. And what's the next one? Let me get to the list. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Use this one. Investigation into tax evasion. Okay, as part of their investigation in July 2021, the Manhattan DA's office charged Trump Org. Oh, this is the one with Alan Weisselberg, with orchestrating a 15-year scheme to evade taxes. Okay. In February, lawyers for both parties asked a judge to dismiss the charges. Well, let's see how that's going to go. So, tax evasion. How's this? How are the charges on tax evasion going to go? For a Trump organization. Boy, I bet they're having money problems. Okay. How's it going to go for them? Well, it certainly changes their ability to grift and bring in more, to even run their business. Remember a while back, at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, remember those people that came forward from one of the golf courses that were illegal immigrants, and they talked about how little they were paid? Remember all that? That's the type of energy or meaning of this card here. So, but anyway, how the tax fraud, tax evasion? Well, I think this is him. Can't stop worrying about that one either. The journey of his soul. It's been, going back and forth, and causing these health problems because he's been so dark. But how it's going to affect Trump organization itself. Notice these two cards don't have anything to do with actual work, the work done. But it could have to do with money laundering over a long period of time. And they've been able to go back and forth over all those records. They have the documents that could change the health of Trump organization itself. This is often a card too where it's speaking to just like a situation that gets worse and worse and worse. And it's also a card that comes through when I'm asking whether or not a person might resign or retire. It's a card of and I'm speaking to this mirroring here, documents that could create just a dead end. So this one doesn't look good either. Letitia, I'm thinking, well, I don't know if that's Letitia James or not. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it could be also a supportive individual of like Trump organization itself. That's the reputation and the honor. Or someone who's been and met. Would it be Melania herself? No, this would be people they've been in bed with too. Wow, people they've worked with. Yeah, and money that's exchanged hands. Wow. Huh. I mean, I have this other weird feeling that they're going to be fighting. Well, but I don't have cards to show that. I would think when it comes to asset seizure, the IRS would be at the top dog, right? Like, wouldn't you think it would be the IRS that would bring in the? I mean, they would have jurisdiction over all of the other people in line to get the money back that they owe, right? Wouldn't you think? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I would think the IRS would have that. Okay. So that was a Manhattan DA's. Interesting. Atlanta. This one is the Atlanta DA that has a criminal investigation of election interference in Georgia by Trump and his allies. Would this be Raffensperger? Because remember when he called Raffensperger? Was it? Oh gosh, I could be getting it all mixed up. Raffensperger, was that the guy? Or when Trump called and said, "I just need 11,780 votes." Was that the guy? Was that the comp? I don't know. But anyway, let's ask about that. How's this investigation, this criminal investigation from Georgia, from election interference, how's this going to go for Trump? And this would be just him, not the kids or the adult spawn. How's this criminal investigation of election interference in Georgia, how is this going to go for Trump? Oh, I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom. I just heard that. Okay. How is this going to go for Trump? Ooh. There's a painful loss. Whoa. Huh. That's one of the kids, too. So I have a feeling this is Don Jr. Was Don Jr. in on that, too? He did, he's done a lot of work to try and help his dad because, he was always the kid that wasn't the favorite. Eric, I think, was just always kind of there, and it was always about Daddy's little girl. It's often that way in families, like the youngest one. I think she's the youngest one. Could be wrong. But it's awful when parents have favorites. Okay, so, especially when it's because of your sexual proclivities, and it's so disgusting. Ugh. Okay, but with this one, I've got these that are on the bottom here. With this investigation by Georgia, by this, so it'd be that's right, the Atlanta DA's office, Atlanta, Georgia. They have the phone, the voice, they have all the communications they need to put him in a place of great loss. This is a painful loss that costs a lot of money. Maybe they even have communications of him trying to bribe. Wow. Right? Wouldn't that make sense? I just want those 11,780 votes. Well, maybe he tried to offer something. This card, of course, is, the way it's affecting him is he's tortured and worried and stressed out about that too, because he knows that this is a card of, serious problems hanging over him. And I think Don Jr. is in on it as well. Again, the lying and the cheating. Wow. Yeah, I think this is talking about everything. I think this I just heard there's a lot more than just this one here. This pattern here and this, all of this top row, this is what's going on with Trump. This is what's contributing to his terrible health. And it's been a painful loss in the family itself, right into, the immediate family, because I think they've all flipped on him. I think they've all, worked together to, try and get themselves out from under this loss of their own. Let's see what was on the bottom. Yeah. Something new that has come in from overseas? Or he has some new hopes about this, but oh no, you know what else? This is a card of drug addiction and alcoholism. So he might be in a new adventure of drugs and alcohol. Wow. Okay, so that's how that one's going. Hold on, let's make sure I've got these really negative cards mixed up here so they're not all together. Well, that one can go there, it's fine. Oh yeah, squirrel moment here, but did you guys know that this is Cheryl Marchetti's little girl when she was little? Her name's Sasha. She's all grown up now. She actually runs the business for him, but or with him, I guess. Isn't it gorgeous? That's what she looked like when she was little. He just took a picture of his daughter and used it for the card. Okay, next one. And this is the last one, okay. Investigation into the Trump National Golf Club. Now, what's missing in this list here is that, what is it? Is it, or maybe this one's oh no, Westchester County? Westchester. I'm not sure which one is Turnberry. And is that the one in Scotland? Because there's another whole thing going on there. It is Trump International Organization. So, and these are just, in the United States. But anyway, prosecutors in the district attorney's office in Westchester County, New York, appear to be focused, at least in part, on whether the Trump organization misled local officials about the property's value to reduce its taxes. Okay. Well, I think this is another civil. Well, this would be state. Okay, Westchester County, New York. All right. How is this one going to go for Trump organization? Okay. Oops, that was the first one. Okay. Nothing new here, kids. Subpoena that comes in. Oh, at least a restriction if it's not somebody that could be locked up. Oops, I'm way out of frame here, sorry. Okay. Going before a court, before an examination. This could be IRS or the state. It would be the state and the whole family. Looking into the whole family. and their strategy, the way they have had organized their business practices. And here's himself. This one could take quite some time. Yeah. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. For a long time. And if it's not restriction, it could be outright being locked up because of a subpoena that comes in. This could also just be really bad news. Like, I wonder if everything's just going to kind of cave in on him all at the same time, or it could be a succession of one thing after another. And that's how it goes. When a person, usually people learn through their relationships at work, but when they're self-employed, you either learn from your other employees, if you have people that work for you, or you learn from, your peer relationships, or you learn from your clients. They're always a mirror to how you're doing. But if you avoid all of that, if you're the person at the top and you avoid all that, then you get your lessons really hard from the outer, situations in your life. And of course, he's been crooked his whole life. So here we have this long journey, this direction, where he has to be made accountable. The adjudication card has to do with an investigation. This could be a tax person, but they make a decision for you. And you can dispute it and you can go back and forth, but I think he's done that to the point that it's over. And there's some demand on him and his family for these false business practices. This cheating. Again, remember, this is the card of cheaters. Will he get to cheat himself out of this one? He keeps thinking about it, but this tax evasion is hanging over him. An imprisonment, or at least restriction, is hanging over him. Right? This is a card that indicates something you cannot get out of. You can't get out of it. And it's his own self-created prison. It's his own entrapment, You give these guys enough rope and they finally hang themselves, and they fall hard when they've been, misusing their power for so long. Eventually, it's like, look what happened to Gaddafi. Look what happened to dictators in the past did not do well. So anyway, this could be something that could have him locked up for a long time, because we're talking tax evasion. It's tax evasion. Evading the matter here. Yeah, wow. But again, let me reshuffle, because just to close it up, would all of these things be the thing that takes him down? Will he actually be locked up? Well, no, I have to reshuffle because I need this card. Let's just go ahead. Let's do it this way. These cards just don't shuffle the other way well. I'm just going to get the ones in the middle. There we go. Okay, so what is actually going to take this mofo down someday? How's he going to go? Is it going to be his health? Will it be his health, or will it be, could be a conviction to, be locked up, and an indictment that gets him to the point of incarceration. But let's see, how's it going to go? Okay. Melania. Maybe get some assets? I don't know. This could be Ivana. He's worried about it, whatever it is. Old marriages. I think I got, I can't remember if I was reading with, yeah, I think I was reading with Debbie and Lisa. Somebody asked something about like what was coming down the pike for him. And the first thing I got was the 3 cards that indicated Melania divorcing him. How's it going to go for him? What's going to be the thing that brings him down? Oh, it could be that his divorce brings him down terribly. So there he is. On this, something that takes a long time. It's also something gradual. It develops over a long time. Those are subpoenas, those are bad news, or pieces of bad news information he doesn't like, and it's something that restricts him terribly, or actually an actual indictment. And the thing he's the most worried about is not having any money. We have to remember that people like him are, the level of consciousness that they're at is tied into materialism, and they think that that's all there is. Yeah, he's worried about being broke and having to work in a terrible situation. Oh, goodness. Oh, holy moly, you guys. The thing that gets him could be money laundering, because this is that work, this is money, this is wealth that is built on the backs of people in misery, human misery. Oh, and his whole family too in there. Whoa. And then human trafficking even. Oh my goodness. All that being examined. Here's how it's going to end for him, though, in major despair, as it being seen as a cheater and a money launderer. Yeah. But we did get before that it was his health, but it could be that this is what brings his health down, and there we go. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So did you guys know that sending love and light keeps us out of their negativity, but it also hurts, and don't do it for just this reason, but it is a spiritual law that the light hurts the darkness. Okay, I'm going to get this uploaded for you. Thanks, you guys. Take good care. Bye.